the word decent doesn't apply to me. Because I can.
Howdy, everybody. It's me, your buddy Admiral Teague. I'm here with Resolute Germ and Wes Cagle. Welcome to 1883, a little trip back in time. Put down your phasers and pick up your Colt Navy. When last we left our intrepid wagon train, Radioactive, who, if he's out there, has a pass, they had been sort of going in weird direction when we looked at the map. Now, the best we can figure, this is sort of Taylor Sheridan's 1883 and Taylor Sheridan's Texas and Taylor Sheridan's map. So far, we don't really know why they've gone south to go north and gone east to go west. But that seems to be what's happening based on the rivers they're crossing. And last week, we sort of saw the wagon train reach a moral impasse. They had to choose a leader. Well, actually, it's like 3 weeks ago now. They had to choose a leader. They had to show that they were tough enough, and they had to get rid of the people who were stealing, not helping out, and just basically being opportunists. We found out these people from Germany had no greater bond than they met on the boat. So basically, our point of view German guy, Joseph, the guy with he's a carpenter, he wears joffers, he's got a huge beard, he's got a hot wife. He goes over and confronts the lowlives. After saying he's not the leader, he's told, if you don't lead these people, no one's going to make it. So he goes, he confronts the people who are stealing, and they're like, get out of here. And they slap him around. They kind of bully him, and he tries to stand up to him, though. And once he sees that he's willing to take a beating for the other people, Sam Elliott and Thomas go in there with Tim McGraw, and they start slapping people around and telling people how it's going to be. It's pretty cool. And they're like, you're thieves, you're lowlives, you're scumbags. Get away from us. Don't follow us. If you follow us, man, you're going to regret it. And then they just they leave, and these people are like, oh my God, what are we going to do? While they're wondering about that, out of nowhere, the Borg swarm of Comancheros just overwhelm and destroy them. And we have a confrontation with them a little later. So here we are, episode 7. We do travel a lot in this one, but I guess we get out of Texas. Guys, welcome. Welcome, Resolute Germ, and welcome, Wes Cagle. Wes, how you doing?
All right, how's it going?
Pretty good. I think I set the stage all right. What did you think last time when we were in 1883 as far as the enjoyability of the show? And, it is a little illogical. Do we have to maybe be forgiving of the map for a moment?
Yeah. Well, it seems that by the pace of the show and the number of episodes we know that they are never going to reach their destination, because it is taking them quite a long time to get to where they are at this point. But
Radioactive had a great observation on that one. They can just take a train.
Yeah.
There's already a train to where they want to go. He's this is a really great story, but like technology wise, like they're ignoring like the fact that there's a few cities dotting this route. It's like they would only have to be out in the open plains for a week or two at a time, and they could honestly take a train to where they're going to end up. And it's like, you're right. Like, how does this happen? And then well, maybe this week in episode 7, like they'll really cover some major distance. There'll be some time compression. Well, I just watched the episode, and let me tell you, it starts out like you're thinking it's going to be another one about growth and just sort of like gently easing into like what's going to be like maybe episode 8 and 9, like it'd be a climactic event, and then we'll find out in episode 10, like, so we've been here for a while and we built a home. Like it looks like we're building towards that, for lack of a better guess. But what we have this week is after what seems like just a casual episode starting out, and where we're going to sort of do the bloat thing, the episode slowly builds, intensifies, and then a bunch of events, like insane events and on a large scale events happen in this one. This was one of the best episodes yet. We have it all. We have romance. We've got Lost in the Dust. We've got American Guardians with their guns. We got people riding around shooting them up. We have cowboys. We've got covered wagons. We're out in the Great Plains, and we have one hell of a Great Plains storm, which I've witnessed once in my life. Don't care to see another one again. I've been to Minnesota, and I've seen like the kind of like way it rains there. Let me tell you, the East Coast doesn't see that. We do get heavy rain. We do get like weather events, but I've never seen anything like a normal, fairly heavy rainstorm in the Midwest, especially in the summer when it could turn into a tornado. So when the tornado forms and stuff, it looks pretty cool. And then when it's moving across the plains, it's honestly, this is our CGI space fight.
Oh, wow. So yeah, even more intense than one of our nor'easters there, huh?
This in the Midwest, when I went there, I was where Gorilla's at, and maybe there's a DNA test in the offing. But the point is, it was about 30 years ago, and I was like circling, and I'm from where we are, right? And the captain's like, there are tornadoes down there. We're gonna keep circling the airport, and I'm like, what a drag. Then we land, and like they kind of rush us off the plane. John, it's so good to see you. John the Beagle Dad's here.
Hey, John.
We were all really sorry to hear about Rue. We don't want to dwell on it. We want to entertain you, but if you want to pass to join us, just put it in the chat. Or if you want to be entertained, we will entertain you with 1883, and you can come hang out with us later, where we're going to have the camera off, and I'm going to hang out with anyone from anyone who wants to be with hang out for a little while and have a chat. I'll spend a couple hours in my office, as we call it. I'll leave this room open, and I'll drop the StreamYards pass into a community tab pass after this. So check the community tab after this episode. And Germ, welcome back. My compadre from 1883 is here with me. We've been through all but one episode together. We've been through death and life together. Are you ready for another exciting episode?
Yeah, the series is getting good. Can't wait to see what happens and who's the next one to pass on.
You watched the episode?
I think they're all. It's most of them.
At this point, because it's been so brutal, I'm thinking no one's safe, and that we probably are only meeting people who are going to make it to the end now. We've had so much death, and we have not made it out of Texas. So I'm feeling like, let's see, but okay, you want to be entertained? If you want later, I'll send you a pass, and you can hang out with us in the back room and chat, and we'll talk. But you don't have to. But I'm really sorry. We're all really sorry. We were talking about it in the Star Trek panel chat too. Like everyone like wants to send you their love. Say what it is. All right. Anyway, let's concentrate on this one. You want to see some stuff? We got an episode of 1883 that absolutely is going to thrill you. So far, we've had a lot of problems with the integrity of this wagon train, and we haven't been able to find who's a leader. Last week, we did develop a leader, and I don't know how much ground we're supposed to cover, but we did last week get to some city. Was it St. Louis? I have no idea. Some people went there and came back with a few replacements. It was sort of this weird depot in the middle of nowhere, like way north of Dallas, Fort Worth, but still in Texas. And then checking the map, it turned out that it was south of there. So I don't know. Germ, any thoughts on the collateral cattle drive and the refreshing of the cattle? Like, they've sold off and bought more cattle when they got to their destination south of Dallas, Fort Worth. They need to go north. Summer is just wasting away. We've made sure not to tell us when it is, though. So it could still be April. I don't feel like it's April, though.
Yeah, I'm guessing they're getting close to or past 4th of July time. Quickly moving into August, so
these former Confederates would never celebrate it. We would never know it's the 4th of July, right? James Dutton's not going to celebrate that.
Him, no, but the other two are actually Union soldiers.
That's true, but Shay doesn't look like he ever has fun. He doesn't drink, and Thomas has got his hands full with the Romani girl. And that romance is going to continue to develop. And hello, Lombardi 1969. Everybody, it's great to have you here. We'll start the episode in a few minutes. It's nice to have people hanging out and having fun. We're recapping what is the lifeblood of this channel. And I'm just going to say right now, I'm grateful to 1883 for being so exciting and so watchable. But West, what's your week been like? How are you handling the snow? And are you ready for more 1883?
I'm definitely ready for some more 1883. This, to me, of the three series, is the best one. Of course, that has a lot to do with Sam Elliott, but it's also the rest of the cast. It's really, it's to me, it's the best one. I mean, I like the one with Harrison Ford, and I didn't watch much of the other one because I don't like Kevin Costner. So, but yeah, this is good. As far as the snow, yeah, I had to take a nap before the stream because I had to be out there shoveling it, and my old ass was all wiped out because of doing it.
I've had intermittent and bad heat problems for like most of the last few weeks, and then the whole building went out the other day. So my apartment had already been cold for a long time when the whole building that had been keeping it warm with ambient heat went out. Man, was I ever desperate. Sometime this morning I lost my mind when minutes were going by like hours. I'm like, in a few seconds I'll fall asleep and it'll just be like over. When I wake up, the heat will be on. I finally fell asleep. I woke up and I'm like, okay. And when I went to get out of bed, it was like getting hosed down with cold water and my breath was fogging. But whatever. Finally, I fell asleep from the cold again, like at 4 o'clock. And all of a sudden I heard the radiator starting to ping. And I was like so filled with joy that I didn't end up taking my nap. And I was like, I wonder if 1883 will fast forward to the winter and we'll see some sort of horrible like snow hell this week. But no, we're staying with where we're at. We're going to meet some interesting new people, and we're going to figure out what the hell we're going to do when this amazing and very well rendered CGI storm overtakes our wagon train. And I think you kind of hit it with the 1883 with the Yellowstone shows. This is the deal. There's a Taylor Sheridan verse, and Yellowstone, half of it's in there. Half of it, or some of it, seems to be written by other people. Whether it be because Kevin Costner is an executive producer and started insisting that he wrote too much dialogue to be left out of it, or whether it be because he doesn't want to be directly connected as the creator of Yellowstone anymore because of the fact that it ended bad, and he was angry as shit at Kevin Costner, who would not work with him or negotiate at all or find any way to do anything. And also they started going at it publicly in the press. So I think a lot of people said 1883 Yellowstone ended bad. Don't worry. Yellowstone continues as the Madison. It was going to be called 2024, but we already see how bad that name would have been, like just by looking at the bottom right-hand side of your computer. So 2024 was the idea. They wanted Costner out of the story. Everyone else is going to go on. Whatever you think Beth Dutton deserves, she's probably going to get it. whatever you think was wrong with having Kevin Costner in the show, guess what? Michelle Pfeiffer's there now, and she's at this place. I think that they either buy the Yellowstone and call it the Madison after the river, or the Yellowstone stays with whoever has it, and the Madison is just the name of the area, because the three branches of the Missouri River, one's the Madison. So it's related to that area very strongly, and some map studies from our good friend Radioactive really, really did help us get our eyes on what was going on in 1883. The consistent thing has been the high body count. Anyone want to pick someone they think is going to die this week? I haven't seen the end of the episode yet, so there's a huge confrontation going on at the end.
Oh,
Who you got in your Deadpool, Wes Kegel?
Yeah, no, I couldn't even hazard a guess. This one just seems like you never know. You never know who's gonna bite it. I mean, for all I know, they'll start killing off main people here at this point.
Not Kevin Costner. Sam Elliott has threatened to end it all and done things that I put him on the edge of ending it all over and over and over. Shea Brennan he's a Pinkerton detective, and he's been destroyed by the loss of his family. We think we thought it was smallpox, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Then we got Tim McGraw. He's James Dutton. He's from Tennessee, I found out. I thought he was from Virginia, but he was in the Confederate Army. We saw that great scene with Tom Hanks. He was wounded in Antietam. He was in a prisoner of war camp. Faith Hill is Margaret Dutton. I did not know she's a Confederate nurse. I don't know if that's accurate, and it seems to be now. That was in one source, but not another, so I don't know. We have to wait for that detail. Isabel May is Elsa. She's our cowgirl. She's getting tougher. This is our character that I think is the most significant in this show, not because the show focuses on her, because it actually focuses very well on the whole cast. This show does not get hung up on any one character. She is the narrator, and she's become the narrator of the entire series. You know, spoiler alert, by Yellowstone, 1883's entire cast is going to be dead. But, she's the narrator for everything now, including the Madison. I wonder maybe if Taylor Sheridan's dating her, but she does have like a fantastic freaking voice. She is pretty tough. And I'm going to throw it to first Wes Kegel and then Germ to comment. What do you think about how we've taken this soft, Eastern educated private school chick and had her, thrown into the thick of this in the middle of the West and getting tougher and tougher? Like, do you believe that she could beat up Ray Palpatine?
Well, it always makes that sort of scenario in these types of shows where you take the tenderfoot and you throw them to the wolves and to see how they develop. It's always a good story arc, to a character arc, I should say. And
usually a male character arc, though.
Yeah, it is. But she's shown herself to be pretty tough. I would I would not want to be Ray if the two of them had to meet.
First of all, Elsa just pull out her gun and take care of it in 1 second. She's not going to stand around playing games. She'll shoot you with her gun. She doesn't care. She's Elsa Dutton. At this point, she's kind of badass. I think she would probably be a pretty intense killer. And at this point, there is going to be a gun battle in this episode. I didn't see what happens, the results of that. There is the usual massive body count by the middle of the episode, and it is in this when people died in the river, we just heard screams and saw the Duttons looking on in horror. We saw a couple of wagons float away. No, this time we're going to see some shit. I'm not saying horror movie stuff, but we're going to see some cinematic stuff. This is an exciting episode. And Germ, Elsa Dutton, tell me, do you think she's up for these challenges? What do you think of what this girl that we've seen through now 6 episodes, about to be 7?
They've built her up very well. Not so badass to the point of not believing it, but considering her family, where she is, you can completely buy it, and you're getting invested into the character. So when the end comes, it's going to come for all of them, you're definitely going to feel it.
Now, here's the question for both of you. You go first, though, Jerem. Is it woke? Is she woke? Is this Mary Sue character woke? Is this franchise committing Mary suicide?
Definitely not. She's well within her bounds, nothing too extreme. She hasn't beat up any guys. They've been able to handle her very well unless she has a gun or her father comes along. That very believable.
No one wants to fuck with her father. The guy is a nightmare if he doesn't like you. We haven't seen anybody who doesn't like who he doesn't like live more than a few seconds. Wes Cagle, is this program woke? We got this chick. She's like roping cows. She's riding a horse. She's gatting down guys with her Colt Navy. Actually, it's not even a cap and ball revolver. We have bullets at this point, but she's gatting people down. She's really like she's in charge and she doesn't care. Do you believe that she's up to this?
Sure.
Is this woke?
Sure. A Mary Sue isn't just a female character that kicks butt and can handle herself and is can do things well. It's the lack of any flaws, and she has flaws. I mean, she's not Miss Perfect. That's what makes a Mary Sue. So as long as they avoid that, it's all good, and it's a believable character.
And
That's what I always said about. That's what I always said about a lot of female characters who are tough and can fight. Is that I need to the person playing them. They need to sell that. They're like the examples. Miliana Jovanovic. I buy her fighting ability. Other female characters, I'm like the one from Eon Flux. I'm like, not so much.
Right. In the cartoon, it a little bit worked because it was edgy and cool, but in the in the live action movie, it was kind of ridiculous, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know what they were thinking with that one.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, Aeon Flux didn't work. Okay, in this show, this chick has had, I guess, we figured to be 6 to 8 weeks of being sort of taught and trained. The necessity's there. This cattle drive is being done to finance the train ride, to finance the wagon train north. They've got to do a couple of things. What we find out is they're going to trade one herd of cattle, make some money off it, get like another, I guess, larger herd. I don't know what the deal is. The size of the herd isn't important. It's sort of like the Monty Python army. Like it shows up whenever the king needs it. And it's a little bit strange on that one. It's nebulous. Maybe we'll get a read on it when we finally see them. The herd was dispersed by the storm. They have to go get that back. And that's kind of at the nexus of our confrontation. In this episode, I think it's going to be pretty enjoyable. And again, we got here with a strong female character who's not woke. As for my audience, YouTube, you know what? Being weird, I don't care. We'll get the number later. I hope everyone enjoys the strong recap, even if you're not able to watch live. But X, I thank you very much. And on X, you can find the theater in the pinned post on my X profile. And if you want to be a follower of Admiral Teague or whatever it is you want to follow me on X, it would be great to have you on board. I do these watch parties, and if you follow me and you don't like it, you know what, you can just unfollow me. It'll be cool, and we'll still be friends. So it's not a big deal. And oops, this is not the Enterprise discussion, sorry guys. Let's go with this one. But welcome to 1883. I guess we've done a pretty good recap. Germ, any thoughts as we're going in?
No, just looking forward to what happens next to the wagon train.
Are you fearing the possibility of a Section 31 commercial?
Not too much, no.
Are you not afraid of it for the same reason I'm not afraid of it? I don't think that Paramount's behind this, and I don't think that they're going to show it to us. I don't think they want people to know. What do you think of that theory?
Yeah, that's a good bet.
I don't know if we're going to see it yet. I can tell you that on TV, I didn't see it. All right, let's find out. Now, remember, the whole future of Alex Kurtzman is riding on this whole Section 31 thing working out. And I'll again say to my friends on X, don't use hashtag Star Trek for a while. Try not to use it. Try not to retweet it. A lot of garbage being thrown up against the wall by the Star Trek people. They're doing the only thing they can do to get our attention. They're saying that they don't exist, and they're saying that they're getting fired. So that, I think, is to get them to exist and not to get fired. So don't fall for it. But I will say this, that's my rule and not anyone else's. Just as people have carved out exceptions for me, I carve out exceptions for others. This obviously doesn't apply to people like Doomcock and other creators. Anyway, here we go with 1883. Hop into the theater. We're going to start with the beautiful Paramount logo. My favorite. These guys make great shows, don't they?
In limited
Sometimes.
portions.
This is my favorite streaming service because it's affordable. It also, honestly, has a decent amount of good shows on it comparatively. It has all the old Star Trek, so that's fine. It's got the Yellowstone universe or the Taylor Sheridan verse, which maybe there's two or maybe there's one. I don't know. We'll see. Well, there may be rogue writers from Yellowstone trying to use that world too. It'll be strange, funny, and interesting to see if it's a shared world. But in our theater, I'm going to hit the hit play in a moment. You can see the Paramount stars flying away. So for you watching at home, if you're going to sync up, there'll be a recap at the end of this, and we'll recap the episode. 3, 2, 1, and action. I'll tell you when the recap happens when we know what it is. That looks like the 70s Paramount logo, doesn't it? It's 52 minutes and 42 seconds from now, guys. That's when the recap starts. We have some great cinematography here. This episode is called Lightning Yellow Hair. It's episode 7. "38 seconds in, just in case you're trying to sync up." So you see how we can't really get a read on the size of the herd, but there's at least 12 cows.
Yeah, that's good camera work.
And making sure to come up with good situations. She's chasing down a stray. So they're trying to keep the herd out of picture. Now they're shooting her over the few cows they have. One of the things I've marveled about Taylor Sheridan is his resource management as a producer and director. Look how much he's getting out of what he has. I bet she rode past every cow they have on set. How long till she starts smoking cigarettes?
Well, that's a luxury on a trek, yeah.
Yeah. Tobacco is worth its weight in gold out where they're going.
Oh yeah.
I think it's also verboten on TV.
Yeah, you don't see too much of that anymore. Yeah.
This is like the 5th straight episode where they've gone past a graveyard.
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
It's one graveyard. It's like lined with graves, this trail.
I might add there's large tracts of land there that's still the fact. You can go maybe 500 miles in some areas, you won't see the existence of a human being. It's great land.
They're trekking past like nothing but a field strewn with carnage, maybe a wrecked wagon train, maybe a few stray people who died, some cattle, could be any of it. She hates cities.
Yeah, she makes it known that she prefers to be out here.
And she's been to the city. Like, she's alive out here, even though horrible things have happened. That was a great line. He knows his filthy hand made the city. Like, when she speaks, her narration is really poetic. By the way, I will say this in justification for talking over the episode. One, I watched it, and two, Nerdrotic says you're supposed to talk over the watch party. So I'm sorry. It's kind of my job. Once Nerdrotic validated it, I was like, oh, thank God.
Hey, no, it works once you get a balance between the volume of the stream and the volume of the show. You can kind of get both, and you can enjoy both.
Also, the assumption is this is a gift to my channel subscribers and to people who follow me on X, and that you get to see it. We're not running AdSense. I'll turn that on later. My new policy is no AdSense for Star Trek on Saturday. And AdSense when I fucking feel like it for other shows. You like that policy, Jim?
Sounds good. And hello to FKHHC.
Hey, Tim, what's up, man?
Oh, less than a week until you're 43. Happy birthday.
Sorry. We were ranting a little bit to get 1883 set up, but here we go. Happy run up to your birthday. We promised you wild geese. I'm still good. On January 11th, right? Wild geese. That still pens my schedule and work and stuff, but I'm going to do it or come as close as I can to it, Tab.
Oh, the 12th.
That's a pretty decent memory. The 12th. We will do it. I'm trying to figure out whether the cook is an asset or a liability.
He's a necessity at this point because those Germans prove they can't cook for themselves.
All right. I'm sorry. Like, there's a soup Nazi. This guy is the wagon train Nazi. What's funny is he's yelling at Germans and being one to them.
What is this?
Payback, I guess.
You don't know what that word means. That is hysterical.
Yeah. He speaks English, but
He speaks
not
British, not American. And what English he learns is from England, not America. He's learning American for a few weeks. Okay. By the way, my German's a little rusty. It gets better when the captions come on. The 12th is a Sunday. The 11th is a playoff Saturday. It's going to have to be a Saturday afternoon. I'm going to have to tell Bill I'm going to tap out of one football game. By the way, it's my first day as a Ravens fan, guys.
Congratulations. You have a real
Is that where Aaron Rodgers is going?
Get the hell out of here. My quarterback that I wanted is there, so I'm going to watch. And next year I'm going to a game next year.
I figured wherever Aaron Rodgers was going to go, that's where you were going to go. I mean, he's your favorite.
Go there, go there with a pipe, a chain. I love how Faith Hill gets this guy right under control. Like I said, I still can't figure him out as whether he's a necessity or not. Like as a person and the way he acts, I will say I appreciate his fit and how he got we have to call them Germans. Remember to call them Germans, right? He got the Germans in line. There's some Slavic people here too. I will email you. All right. The 12th. I booked up. You know what? Her acting was really good. I don't know if you're going to catch her best moments or that were early on. I think you're here with us though. I'll admit the modern plastic surgery is kind of obvious. Anyone on her face?
Yeah, that's
Not
you're
so
going to
much.
run into that with Hollywood. It's unavoidable. What are you going to do? Any of them that have had work was going to stand out in a period piece.
I think her acting is good. And this is my 1883 headcanon. One, these people, like, it should have been, it's like 1853 is the level of difficulty they've given this wagon train, which is fine. Okay, we can suspend our disbelief a little. But look at his uniform, too. I wondered what that was. It seems to be a U.S. Dragoon 1840s uniform or some kind of Confederate cavalry outfit. I don't get what it is. I really don't get what his uniform is. Let's see. It's
It's
all of
just
her pom pom
modified.
rah rah country music. Oh, well, here's the thing. She doesn't sing in this, and honestly, her acting has been pretty good. Our other 1883 headcanon is this one, by the way. Everyone who's not like 18, 19, or 20 looks 10 to 20 years older than they actually are because life's so damn hard. It's the only way people's ages work out.
Yeah.
Because
This
I
is
believe
true.
Faith and Tim are like about 58, 60, right?
Now,
Yeah.
I believe.
Tim's getting up there. I think yeah.
Well, this episode's 3 years old. So yeah, they were 57, 56, right? It's fairly old. I don't know. Just on the cusp of being able to have a daughter this age. The thing is, this daughter would have been born in like 1863 when he was in jail. We'll overlook that. That dress of hers cut up nice. She looks hot in it. Faith Hill's 57 now. Okay, so she was 54. She might look even a little bit. She looked great until she was like 49. She might look a little old for 54, or it might be the character. They're not putting makeup on her. Like everyone's supposed to be 10 years older than they really are, 10 years younger than they really are. I think he's supposed to be 44 and she's supposed to be 54 because then he would have been like 25, 30 during the Civil War instead of like 35, 40. Oh, they're the same age? Perfect. By the way, they're good together. Their scenes together are her strongest. But she had never acted before. He tells us it means lightning yellow hair, but I speak Comanche. It means hot body blonde. Can't fool me. Here's our heroine, ladies and gentlemen. She's a doll. She is so adorable. I love Isabel May. We also love Hoshi.
Oh yeah.
See, like, look at his uniform. Doesn't it look like Shatner's like 19th century naval uniform and that weird oil painting that guy made of him?
Yeah, I don't
And you just
know.
explained
I
how he
mean,
got it too.
I admit he killed the guy who had it.
oh, that's
Yeah.
the story? That's what okay, yeah, I get it.
So was it a French guy or a Confederate or some cavalry guy?
Probably a cavalry guy. He is likely a mercenary during the war.
I'm looking at the collar.
Collar. Yeah, the collar definitely
Yeah.
looks European more than American.
It could be Mexican.
True.
They for some reason they've continued to go south.
Heading the wrong way.
This part's cool. This is going to become more important than you think, this little lock of hair. This is a talisman or something.
Hmm.
By the way, I wouldn't be surprised if this blonde hair is at the Yellowstone Ranch or something, or is in an episode of Yellowstone.
Yeah.
I'm going with Mexican on the military uniform.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Yeah.
Well, it looked to have the eagles and the snake, so I was looking really hard for that, and it didn't look like our eagle. It was a different eagle altogether.
That would have been something he added on his own.
The buttons on the collar, no, the brass buttons on the collar.
No, any symbols and whatnot he could have added on his own.
Sure.
More than likely, he got it off of a former or current cavalryman for the Union. Depending on how old he's supposed to be, he would have been a mercenary for the Confederates during the war.
He would have to be 43. The war was 20 years ago.
Yeah, I'm saying how old he's depending to play, can't really tell.
Oh, he's like within 5 years of her age, maybe 6. They may even be the same age. She's just been out there longer, and he's like more accustomed to it. And he's a guy.
Yeah, then likely fought off cavalry trying to drive his tribe off of a certain piece of land because that was very common in the 1880s.
See, that was the thing Radioactive was talking about. It was more like the late 1860s and 1870s. They just took the Civil War guys and pointed them west.
Yeah. They
By
did
this
that
time,
until the end of the century.
yeah, but by this point, it was like mostly sporadic, and a lot of it was much further west. Like this part of the country had been pretty well. There have been extensive operations in Texas.
So now
Wind
she's
is
a
the world laughing at us. Yeah, wasn't that a great line?
Yeah. Get your channel suspended if you repeated it, but great line.
Yeah. That was over too. Yeah. That's what we've been saying. Take the trade. They finally acknowledged it. By the way, I love how John Redcorn here speaks like a guardian. Like I'm waiting for the wind to just lift his hair up as he speaks. Like the skies are angry. Taylor Sheridan, like he's not afraid to write a native guardian like a guardian. The guardians talk like guardians. He doesn't do Yoda talk, but he's poetic. What do you think of the choice, guys?
Very good choice and accurate. If say he's in his 20s, he would have a good exposure to both worlds at that point.
He's articulate in
Quite frankly, he
English.
spent most of his life fighting.
Yeah, it sounds like it's been pretty rough. That's why I think that if it's an American uniform that he's wearing is a U.S. Dragoon pre-Civil War uniform, which would have made him like 7 when he did this, if even alive. But who knows? Yeah, why did they make this poor decision if other people could beat the storm and he knows that they should have? Sam Elliott says this in every episode. He's like, well, they gotta get tougher now. Is Shay just giving himself a break for the fact that he has not done the best job of telling these people how to stay alive or repeating it? She's still mourning Ennis. By the way, but Ennis was like her boyfriend there for a while. He was like doing the right thing and he was ready to like die for her, and that's just what happened. We never saw it coming though. They just threw that in there in the last 2 minutes of the episode. It's like, guess what? Ennis is gonna die. Here, look how cool this is. What do you think? Is that gonna show up in like the Madison or something?
Now, is that supposed to be the hair that she gave
There's a
him?
lot more hair than she gave him, but that's what he did with it. Yeah, is that cool?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. That's too much hair there.
I think he may have woven it with straw. They showed him working on it, and there was some other stuff going on.
Oh man,
I'd
now
like to
that's
watch
storm.
what he was doing again. Yeah, wait till you see the CGI of the storm. It's really good CGI. It's not hard to do a storm. And by the way, I'm actually afraid of the storm.
I would be if I was there. I would be. That's for sure. Oh, good lord!
All right, I'm just going to spoil it. When the storm blows over, the USS Nimitz is just grounded in the middle of the prairie, and Roy Scheider tries to help them. Okay, that's how they get to Yellowstone. They fly there.
Yeah, there's no cover, man. There's nowhere to hide.
Yeah, that's not the biggest problem. It's horses and the cattle going to panic.
And here's the thing, they're not doing anything that I would think is intuitive. I didn't get the idea of unhitching the horses, but that makes sense. But wouldn't you just get everyone to be like, knock your wagon over on the side, we'll write them later. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
This is pretty scary if you've ever experienced it. We need a bigger boat. I mean, we need a place to hide. You see what I meant? How I thought this was going to be like a slower episode, and now all of a sudden it's like, wait,
Yeah.
we're not just going to go to this place and talk more?
Right, man. Can you imagine being a German immigrant from Europe and then this sort of nonsense happens to you?
They don't have these in Europe, no. Yeah,
No.
they must be terrified. Don't
Oh, yeah.
use the I word. They're just German.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, where they come
No, it's-
from every day is new to them. They never seen these big open prairies, never seen a tornado.
Yeah.
They
must
weren't
think it's
allowed
the
to
end of the
swim or
world.
have guns back home.
To them, it's the end of the world. There you go. Follow the guy who's been living out here on the plains. That's for sure.
See, that's where Ray has an advantage and Elsa doesn't. Ray would have just dissipated the form with the force.
Oh, there you go.
By the way, if anyone's ever seen the movie Major League, there's some stuff going to happen that Randy Quaid's character in that movie would deeply approve of. So everyone's kind of divided into two groups here. Most of the wagon train is with the wagons. Elsa, some of the Guardians, and some of the Cowboys got their horses, and they've released them because it's just like everyone for themselves. And like you'll get your horse later if you live, because the problem is your shot of living ain't so high.
Man, little shallow ditch is all the protection you can get yourself.
See, I don't know why her eyes aren't closed. I guess it's so she could act, and that's why it's CGI dust.
Well, she moved on rather quickly.
Yeah, I don't. You know what?
It was weird.
That's not going to sit very well in 1884, 1883.
If people find out, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
But, she digs John Redcorn here. And he's a pretty cool guardian. He made a horse out of her hair.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying he's not. He's obviously, you know what? He's probably the most informed person in this where they're at. I mean, if he says do something, do it, but he's not seen as equal. That's for damn sure. You guarantee you.
By the way, I was also wrong. They just kiss. There's people nearby, so nothing happened. It's just they have their moment there. She thinks he's sexy. End of story.
Yeah.
And it's black on my screen too. That was probably AI for inserting the commercial. So this is what you get when you have premium tier now. You don't get a commercial, but you get the black gap in the middle of the episode. That was weird. It could have also been a buffering thing. You know what, though? Even though they didn't have sex or anything, that was a cool variation on the old sex in the rain trope. Who's out there? It was pretty uncool how it all worked out. Isabel May is 24 now. Yeah. Jim McGraw, his father was Tug McGraw. That's true. He was 69 Matt.
Yes.
He passed away a few years back, but they did manage to honor him at Shea Stadium, I think, in like 2000. And he came out on a motorcycle.
Huh. Yeah,
Everybody loved Tug McGraw. Remember? He was a Met for a while.
Yeah, I always remember him being a Philly because obviously I'm a bias because I'm a Philly fan. But hey,
Tug McGraw holds the record with Jesse Orozco for gloves thrown in the air that have yet to come down. In 1980, has been in the air slightly longer than Jesse Orozco's in 1986. So how about that storm, though? It's kind of spectacular.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I think they illustrated how random it is because some stuff's a little bit okay.
Oh, yeah.
I would say this. If this could have happened a couple of episodes back, it would explain why they were still in Texas. It happens now. How are we ever going to get there? Now we have 3 episodes left. May have tried to pull the saddle off the horse just so I myself had something to hold on to on the ground. increase my overall weight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I might have even held it on top of me.
I'm surprised
What do you
most of them
think?
didn't do what Tim what Sam Elliott's character didn't do. Lay down with the horse.
He's the most experienced cowboy, right?
Yeah.
And also, she can't pull the horse down, so that was kind of a cool little touch. I guess the other guys just weren't as good as him. But you know what my feeling is? I believe he wove her hair with the horse's mane.
Might have.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Since her and her horse are bonded right now, she is just female Han Solo with her Millennium Falcon. It can be done.
Yeah, all we need for her to say now is "I know."
Think about it. Her horse is both her Chewie and her Falcon.
Now they got to pick up the pieces. Yeah.
I'd like to know how those fucking trees survived.
Deep roots.
So if you kiss a guardian and you want to make a dream catcher out of your hair, you can ride on their land.
Oh, they paid their tax.
They also gave them some stuff to be safe. Yeah. They've been doing this the right way the whole time. That's the other thing about this wagon train. They've greased their way with money so much. I've wondered why they wouldn't have taken that freaking train. The only So we lost a lot of property and a few people, but it wasn't as bad as we thought it was going to be. And like when they start to assess the damage, either the people who blew away just didn't count anymore. See, like why are we getting these black cutouts? You know what I mean? Do you think that was an axe change, Germ, or is it an AI commercial break?
It's an act change, but I think that's where they were inserting a commercial.
So these act changes, the black between the acts, I think, is new. How's that for a conclusion?
Yeah, it's their system trying to keep up with, are you getting a commercial or not, and then putting you in the right direction.
Right. They've left the space to insert the commercial for the commercial tier. And also, it's a nice jerk of the leash on us who pay premium. It's like, yeah, you see what we can do to you? You want to wait 2 minutes right now, motherfucker?
Wow. She lost a mirror.
Well, Thomas gave that to her last week.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And if you notice, again, Thomas has got a cartridge belt. So everyone's got bullets. Nobody's got. I mean, if they have cap and ball revolvers, it's because they're just still around.
Also, was one of her carts wagons were the ones that lost?
Yeah, her wagon was one of the
Yeah.
ones that got wiped out. Yeah.
Ooh.
The thing is, she's like, I got nothing, and he's like, you got everything that I got. She lost all her possessions. The thing is, her chances of making it are just significantly higher because now all she has to do is get there alive with Thomas, who's going to be very good at keeping you alive.
Yep.
Just, give him some love. This was an emotional moment. I thought this was really great. Joseph's wife's hot too.
Oh yeah, the casting director definitely has a type.
All brunettes look the same. All blondes are bleach blondes. It makes it hard to keep track of people, especially in 1923. In my video, I got it wrong with Liz, but her eyes are closed and her head's turned, and she's just a bleach blonde with dark eyebrows, like the other three women in that arc.
So they got 48.
Yeah, I've seen storms off in the distance like that in Florida and in Texas. I can't remember the Texas one as well. It was really a long time ago. They can't find a few strips of jerky for the weak and wounded. So this is important. 4 of them ride off. He notes this. Oh, I thought, like you said, the last time I didn't have the subtitles on. I thought when he said none, I thought he said a bunch. I feel cheated of not seeing someone like pulled away by the hurricane anyway, or the tornado anyway. See, that's he knows there's only 4 people and there's 6 people by the cattle. Remember, the Guardian told him when the storms hit, thieves come and try to bushwhack you.
So the cook's in with the. You think the cook's in with them?
I think the cook's in
That's-
for himself.
He definitely knew to run the chuck wagon ahead of the thing. I think he knew he was in it for himself, but the idea that maybe he like knows about these guys and he thinks he can get a deal with them or something, I don't know. We're gonna find out because I just have a bad feeling about Cookie.
Oh, that okay. That's what when he saw 6. It was six thieves. Okay,
Yeah.
When he heard 6, he knew it wasn't them because there's only 4 of them.
right.
This part's cool. Elsa wants a piece of this fight. And she's also making good tactical calls that make sense because she's heard this stuff. She's like the reverse Admiral Holdo here.
Yeah, what are the chances of her actually sitting still like she's being told?
The thing she said last made sense. If there's going to be a gunfight, I'm safest with you. And he's like, I am a badass. It's like, what's he going to do? Argue it's the truth. I have not been to the Dakotas, but I might be going there soon. Family members moving there. Or I think it's Dakota. I don't know. I'll find out when I get there. Montana?
North or south? Oh, you're not sure?
I don't know. I forget where it is. I'll have to call them tomorrow. Last couple of days, I've been on the couch shivering and complaining to my friends on X about how much life sucks.
Yeah. When the heat goes out in the winter, what you can do is bundle up with layers of clothes, get under some blankets, and keep a hat on your head. Even
I was wearing a hoodie for like 6 days.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, it was on and off and on and off and on and off for like the whole winter. And when it finally just socked in for days on end, I was already shot. Like, goodwill was gone, so I just like curl up on the couch and it's like it'll be over in a minute. And I was like, God, just been hours. I look at my watch, it's been like 9 minutes. I think it's time for John to say the F word again.
Yeah, she ain't messing around.
I mean, it's like, I've seen your husband, lady. You don't have to flex to me. We know how badass he is. He gets played by James Badge Dale from the Pacific in 1923. This character makes it to 1923. Spoiler. I told you the child would survive. I have mercy. I would have thought that, like, if I'm James Dutton, I would have sniped one of those guys since we've seen he's awesome at it.
Yeah. Why
Guess
you
he
got the
doesn't
drop on him?
Or after they start firing back at me, knowing that they're likely to miss, he has a sniper rifle, man. I don't know if he has it with him, but he has a scoped rifle. Yeah, he's going for it with the regular. Wow. Well, we have enough rounds to take these guys on. We have the firepower.
Man, that was actually a good tactical maneuver. Wait till they get low. Wait till they come over the ridge when they're vulnerable.
Yeah. Thomas is just firing like a true Buffalo soldier from the knee, right? Custer's guys fought like that.
They definitely got position and firepower on them.
The thing is, they have the most firepower that they could have per individual, too, with these repeating rifles. And she's just staying ahead of him, and she's at least drawn one guy off, and 3 guys off. Don't fuck with her.
Look at her firing back as she's riding. Nice.
She doesn't give a shit. She's born again hard ever since Ennis died. She's luring this guy in to take him out, is my impression.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. She's a danger junkie now.
What was that guy planning on pistol whipping her?
Whoa!
Out of nowhere.
Tomahawk.
Look at this.
I think he got his boy. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Guardians have come back to help out. Tomahawk strike. I'd have to say, anyone feel that's a believable tomahawk throw? Maybe.
Sure.
Yeah.
I buy it.
She's enjoying watching people do this violent stuff. Just like after, it's like
Oh, we got
digging it.
we've got a Mel Gibson Patriot moment here with that tomahawk.
Yeah, he overkilled his enemy. He was like really angry. He was getting fired up.
Yeah, well, those are the boys he was hunting before he met up with them.
He had mentioned them, and he had said that there are thieves out there that strike when there's a storm. So yeah, he has got a grudge against these freaking guys.
Wow. Uh-oh.
We John Wick everybody in this show.
Yeah.
Double tapping's big. Hello, X. The pinned post has the theater. Another just action-packed and extremely profoundly violent episode of 1883. There were no casualties from the tornado, but we made up for that in the gunfight.
Oh yeah.
Wes Cagle, are you also did you also after the last time we watched 1883 Google around to see if you get Thomas's tunic?
No, I wasn't. Oh, look. Oh, wow. It's a good thing it hit the belt because it was still only slightly in the surface.
Yeah, because it was almost spent round. The
Yeah.
thing is, like, you would still want to cauterize it because it went through fabric and then into your skin, but
Oh yeah.
it's not a science lesson either, I guess. I love it. We're popping bullets out like this. This is a little unrealistic, but these are realistic wounds, I suppose.
Oh, got him in the foot.
Yeah.
It's in his head. Oh, fuck.
Oh,
Uh-oh. So this wasn't safe. He'd been wanting to do that to himself for a long time, by the way, just to be fair.
Yeah, but he wanted to be a little bit more accurate.
I had a funny feeling he was going to keel over and die right there in spite of it. Like, it was like a profound wound, but he like a delayed reaction. We've seen that in other movies, but nope, he just got shot through the only skin between the top of his head and his brain.
the bullet.
Glad
near
he's
his
still
scalp.
going to. That basically did. It went below his scalp, which it shouldn't have happened.
Uh,
It wasn't a very realistic wound reproduction, but whatever. We're gonna have to find a way to tell ourselves it didn't go through his head.
yeah.
He's alive, okay? It's not The Walking Dead. So we just found kind of a much more sophisticated cowboy out here too.
Yeah.
Like I said, but I think we're refreshing now with people who some of these people might make it because we finally left Texas where most people died. The tornado was a bitch, but people lived. The river killed a bunch of people. The river crossing was so bad, we needed 2 episodes to recover from it before we moved on. No, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, hell
I
no.
don't care about these guys.
You say a prayer over the people that just tried to kill you. You're a better man than I am.
Yeah, no, I'm vengeful. I'd be like, I'm going to tell you what I'll do. You one better. I'll at least ride over here before I dismount and pee.
Give him the treatment that Billy the Kid gave him in Young Guns too. We should bury these guys. Take dirt over them.
I liked the best line in that movie was, "That's the best $1.80 I ever spent." Got 9 times on each barrel.
Oh. Yeah,
That
you
wasn't
ain't
very
asking, and
smart
she
of
ain't.
him.
She ain't
I
telling.
just, yeah, I didn't think you should negotiate with her either. I would have started firing. She was only steadying her aim with a shotgun, which is highly likely to hit him. And now we have another horse and some more guns.
Yeah.
Why would
He
she
was
feel bad?
barely in range to shoot her, and he is making demands way too early.
Yeah, like the thing to say there is like, boy, am I glad to see you.
Ooh, that's harsh. Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, she's become deeply nihilistic, bro. Like that's almost paganistic stuff. Very close to how the the Guardians feel. Well, that was another amazing episode of 1883. The next one's called The Weep of Surrender. I'm almost curious to see what the hell they go from here, but I think we'll hold this one because it's such a big favorite among our viewers. And that was intense. Yeah. I think if nothing else, to decompress from this last episode, we need to just try to absorb the events. Did I sell you wrong? Did this thing just gradually build in intensity throughout the whole episode?
Oh, yeah, no, that was something. It didn't, it didn't seem like that's where it was going to end up going until that storm rolled in. Then it was all hell broke loose. Good Lord.
Yeah, it's been cold all day, so I didn't do my usual Star Trek like research on it. I'm gonna easily watch that episode again and figure out more of those details. But yeah, I thought it was a good episode. They don't have a bloat episode. There's no slow episode where nothing happens. The pacing of this show, we thought they were going to slow down. They kind of slow down in one episode just to kind of absorb what happened by the river. And there's even some violence in that.
Yeah. Oh, they're in an environment where you're just one step away from violence at any moment. It seems anywhere from your fellow travelers, from bandits, from the nature, from the land itself. Good Lord.
Right. And some of these people didn't speak enough English to understand Sam Elliott's very dire warning about how just very dead you'll be if you don't listen to him. And by the way, guys, if you could hit the like button, that'd be great. And if you're on X, and a lot of you are, and I thank you, do me a favor, follow me if you want. And my theater's all usually in the pinned post. And you know what? We do a lot of these watch parties. It's kind of a gift to you guys and to the people who subscribe to me over on the YouTube side, where we sometimes have polls and stuff like that. So, Jerm, another great episode of 1883, in my opinion. Why don't you give us your thoughts?
Definitely a good episode. First half, we had a little bit of a stall, but once that tornado came in, things definitely picked up. And interesting to see how they integrate the new Guardian characters. If they stick around or they're just one and done.
I thought it was actually really interesting to have the episode have what seemed to be almost. It was like Taylor Sheridan. This is early in This is not as early in streaming as the other Yellowstone shows. I feel like Taylor Sheridan was like, I can bait these people into thinking that this is going to be one of those episodes where nothing happens, and then like really unleash on them. And I'll be honest, I thought the tornado was going to be the highlight of the episode and like the most like intense thing to happen. But they sort of they had me fooled, man. That was an intense ending.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah. That was. I'll tell you. If you were mentioning about whether the Guardians were going to stick around or not, if they're smart, they will do whatever they can to entice them to stick around. And who knows? Just the interaction we saw might entice the one guy to stay around at least. Who knows? But yeah, you would definitely want them to stick around. They seem to know instinctively, obviously, because I mean this is their home. So, like he said, it would behoove them to keep them with them. I have a feeling that they'll just move on, but we'll see.
You know what? I think it might be somewhere in the middle. I think the deal is they're guardians. They have to stay on the guardian reservation, so to speak, within a certain degree. They also are like native to that part of the Great Plains. Like that's their area, but it might be fairly large. So maybe they go with them all the way through Kansas and Missouri, because we seem to have made some noise about how we're just about ready to leave Texas after 7 goddamn episodes. I like this show, but that part is just baffling.
Yeah, I don't see it. It seems like they've got more than half the journey to go yet. More than half the series
to go. They've got 7/8 of the journey they want to take, and 3/4 of the journey we know they take, because they don't get to where they're going. They're going to get to Montana. The intended place is Oregon.
Yeah.
Although, you know what? We could have Jerm. Do you have any friends in Oregon?
Not really.
Well, the thing is, with the speed of this wagon train, their descendants might be getting to Oregon now. That's the thing. Yeah. You have to check satellite photography. But some of them do end up in Yellowstone. But here's the thing. Like, there's all these powerful lines of people and powerful lineages and important people and families. Some of these people will make it to Yellowstone to be the progenitors of the people in the show. And I know that in 1923, there are people in the show who their descendants are in Yellowstone, and they're like marbled through all the Yellowstone stuff. So 1883 might be the inverse of Attack of the Clones, where in the Star Wars trilogy with George Lucas, they kind of had to make the Attack of the Clones do all the heavy lifting. This show had all the heavy lifting in the sense that a lot of the events were spoken of in Yellowstone proper. So in 1883, like, they might have to do certain things in certain places. My great grandpapa got shot in the ass in Texas. So like, oh, we forgot to shoot him in the ass. It's like, so there's been some grandpappy stories and stuff like that from Kevin Costner and other people. They've got that holding them down, but it seems like whatever it is whatever they have to touch on and whatever they have to do in different in places, this show makes it so that they have to more or less be, how do I put it? They, as pinned down as they are, this show's doing a better job at heavy lifting and storytelling than Attack of the Clones. Dialogue's better. I'm still more engaged. It hasn't stopped dead. The episode knew that it had slow stuff to say, so it just built up into like that. The end of that episode, we're all like, "What the hell?" That's a great "what the hell" ending.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's for sure. I thought at least one of the main characters was going to bite it.
Yeah, I would have bet on that too. Maybe in the
I'm
next
going to say
one,
that. I was deeply surprised that nobody died in this episode. That's how they kind of got you with that one, right? They're like, fooled you.
Yeah, so I mean, you had the tornado, and then the gunfight. When the tornado killed nobody, and the gunfight was happening. Like, well, somebody's going to bite it now.
The thing is, like, we know more about tornadoes than they do, but like, he also should know that it's like your chances of survival and are pretty good because the chances of it hitting you are pretty low because most of the planes is anything but you, the person, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
the thing is, when he came back, Cookie was like, "So how many died?" And welcome to the recap. Cookie's like, "How many died?" He was a little bit too eager.
Well, those Germans really didn't make a good impression on him.
No, they did not.
They got him slapped.
Yeah.
Could I be wrong? And like in the next episode, something's going to go terribly wrong, and Cookie's going to like save the day.
I don't know. He doesn't strike
Cookie's
me
gonna
as.
have a moment.
I don't know. He doesn't strike me as the save the day kind of guy. More seems like I'm out for myself, and I'll cut and run and leave you all hanging if I have to.
Now, I haven't seen the other show, but I want to ask you guys if you whether you have or not, based on reputation, where would you rather have to survive? Squid Game or 1883?
1883, because those Asians can be real. I don't know how to put this delicately.
It's a South Korean TV show, and it has different sensitivities, so they could shock you. And some of the ways they die are pretty horrible.
Yeah.
Although in this show,
let me put it this way: Human Centipede was like a Japanese thing, or Asian thing.
Well, this is South Korean, so I don't know. I think this is homing in on like the extreme South Korean kind of game shows that we saw here at like 3:00 in the morning back in the 90s and early 2000s. I don't know if you were a fan of those. They came on public access. Do you ever see any of those?
No.
They were pretty insane. People would run down like spinning stuff. People would jump through hoops. People would get like dunked into water. Yes.
Okay,
Most
now I know.
elimination challenge. If you saw
Yes.
TV.
Okay, now I remember them.
They changed the name to that. I used to watch it when it was just in like Japanese, and there's a South Korean one too. But it was like, you come home at like 3 a.m, 5 a.m, wasted, and you turn on Channel J in New York City, and it's like this crazy game show. And also there was a fear factor aspect where they would eat like worms. So crazy stuff on that show. But I think just recapping it on this one for 1883, we finally did see them traveling. They covered a good distance of ground and passed a benchmark into this territory where they paid the tax. They made everything right. They're still doing everything as best they can. We had a major event. They got hit by a tornado. A lot of wagons got destroyed. A few people survived. Here's a Star Trek question for you, Germ. Do you think the fact that we took it easy on the people in the wagon train and just destroyed some wagons kept us away from the Star Trek Voyager problem, where it's like no matter how many times we have a battle and see people die, they're like, there's 144 people on the ship.
Yeah, it definitely helped that they stated that they didn't lose anybody, so that number can be believable that they're not all wiped out yet.
And also the fact that we've lost so many people so many other times that you were bound to get lucky at least once. It was like about time for once.
Yeah,
like,
so.
You know what? We also would be great is if we had an episode where people would just like laughed. We did something fun. But what are you gonna do? That's anybody got some thoughts on 1883? Because I think I kind of recapped it pretty well. Well, we're not really well set up to get anywhere in 2 episodes. What are they gonna do? Drive north, put over for the winter, like over talk it with dialogue, just be like, they stayed. We stayed there, for the winter, and then 3 months later we found ourselves here, and like pick up the journey almost there. This is the longest time it's taken to get to the flash forward from the first episode.
Yeah, I think they're about Oklahoma now, and they're probably gonna just time jump to the end of the Guardian territory.
We know we're safe in this Guardian. We've had a terrible catastrophe, and we know we're safe here. It's entirely possible that in this episode we have traveled a great deal of territory, and that Guardian, the reason he rode away was we were past the edge of his territory, because he did say, like, you're welcome to come back here. You know what I mean? Which doesn't make it sound like he was coming with them, and it also, like, it did seem to give us a measure of progress. I don't know. I kind of wish they had a Lord of the Rings map. It's like every once in a while for 1883, it's like, where the hell are they? And all of a sudden it's like, bam, 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 bam. You just see, like, like the Argonne Trail or like Indiana Jones lines on the map. It's just like anything would be useful.
Yeah, because the landscape hasn't changed a whole lot. So, I mean.
Yeah. Well, I think they're trying to go mainly northwest at this point. When they turn north, it's going to be a lot faster.
Yeah, well, they don't have a lot of Oklahoma to cover, because they're just cutting through that little panhandle of Oklahoma, that section. Yeah, I mean, they don't have to cut through a lot of it. I'm not sure of the exact route. So
the states in question are so large and have such a large contiguous border that it's very hard to say. But if I had to, like, just speculate, which is the only thing I can do, so I'm going to do it. I would speculate that they can't pass through, like, Texas, Oklahoma, and like Kansas and Missouri were mentioned. So there had been a border war, and they're acting like that's going on. They're still having a war up there. So I don't know what the hell that means. This is 1883. Like, there's a considerable federal army. It's Taylor Sheridan's 1883 again. The events and the drama of the show were fantastic. But as far as the 1883-ness of it, it's still the amount of hardship. This should be 1853. Things are so rough. And
there is still an 1883 as far as combat. There's still the the Guardian Wars going on. Yes.
Yeah.
They'll
be going on for another 10 or 15 years.
So here's the thing, though. At this point, we have largely put the Guardians into their stadiums. See what I did there? The Guardians are mostly at their stadiums. They're not playing road games anymore. The Guardians no longer are a road team. They only play home games. And the other thing is they were sort of penalized by the league, so to speak, for maybe getting some performance-enhancing drugs. But the thing is, like, the other teams may have been feeding them into the clubhouse to get them to draw a violation. But the Guardians right now, sanctioned by the league, mostly a home team. The Guardians are roaming around playing road games in, like, California. And isolated places here and there are concentrations of them. But, like, after the Civil War, like, unfocused groups of militia and stuff like that, like especially, like, regiments that hadn't seen combat, they're like, we do have a bunch of guns and a Guardian problem. Maybe we could take care of that right now on our way home before we break this whole thing up and deny it. So that happens a few times. And I think Radioactive was the one who was saying that he felt that, like, the Guardian Wars were largely over. So his command on history and military matters is much stronger than mine. And my impression is that, 1883, like 1873, even, we would have had like 30% more Guardian activity. But we haven't seen a whole bunch of them. We've just seen that they're formidable. So if we run into Guardians, 15 of them could take out what's left of this wagon train at this point.
Oh, yeah. They are precarious right now.
Yeah, German, you said like not even maybe a dozen.
Yeah,
How
I'd give them 8 to 10, and they'd completely overrun them.
Here's the thing: Dutton is likely to take out 8 before they get him. They could get him. Like he doesn't seem that immortal. But he's got 6 in the cylinder, and he's got his Winchester. He's good for at least 8 Guardians before they get him, because he's going to take one out before they're even within range of him. He'll get that sniper rifle back out. His wife will get 1 or 2. But the thing is, everybody else is pretty useless and runs around screaming, waiting to be killed.
Yeah.
That's been a little bit of a problem with the people from Germany, as we have to call them. They come from the land of the ice and snow. You know what kind of song they sing. Wes gets it. All right, guys. Final thoughts from everybody and what you might be doing later this week.
Final
no,
thoughts are. Yeah, go ahead, Wes.
No, you go. You go. I was waiting for you to go.
Final thoughts. The series is definitely progressing, getting more and more interesting as we get closer to the end, and can't wait to see how it actually ends up.
Yeah, I agree. I thought the past couple episodes that I had watched, especially the last one that I was here with you guys to watch, it was definitely not what you would call slow. There's always action going on, but not as intense as this. So there seemed to be ratcheting it up. So we'll see where they're gonna go after this.
Does anyone agree with they fooled you? First few minutes of the episode, it's like, okay, they've had so much intensity that we're going to take our foot off the gas. And I, for one, am finding it to be sort of a welcome development. And all of a sudden, it's like starts building and building and building and building.
Yeah, I got to tell you, when they had that scene and she was laying down in the grass, you could start seeing the wind picking up. It was the grass was rustling, her hair was. I said, "Here it comes, here it comes." All hell gonna break loose.
You know what the weird thing is now? I feel like her kissing Sam the Guardian, she was more fascinated with him and taken with him than in love with him. And while it was a passionate kiss, it wasn't like a kiss of committal, and she didn't move to take things any further. And we've seen she has no problem with that.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think do you think it was just sort of like she was kissing like his culture, so to speak?
Yeah,
Not so much.
yeah, the bad. He was the fascinating outsider kind of
He
thing.
was like all that's good about the idealized Indian Guardian from all of these old West movies and any kind of like flattering view of the Guardians. They're presented like Sam. Sam is noble. Sam speaks 2 languages. Sam is not a jerk off. Sam believes in justice. Sam is out there making the world a better place by killing off total lowlifes who kill other people. Like he only kills killers. He's sort of like the free agent, like Guardian James Bond of this territory. He's like messing up bad guys. Like, how could she not kiss him? I guess, right? Such a romantic kind of figure.
Yeah, it's more of a thank you kiss.
I agree. There was some passion, but it wasn't like she's not like the first time I watched it. Like I said, I was still pretty cold in here and stuff. I was just like, this is a little weird. I don't know how I'm going to come to terms with this. And Sam was 69. So anyway, I hope everyone enjoyed this. I'm going to go open up I'm going to close off the stream. But what's going to happen is I'm going to post this past in the community tab, and anyone who wants to can hang out here. And it appears in the membership tab, but if you're a member, you'll see it in the community tab. But if you're in the community, you'll see it in the membership tab. So only you won't be able to get the link if you're a subscriber, only if you're a member of the community. But hey, memberships are open. I'm going to do that in about 1 minute. And I just want to say I thank you all very much for being here. And there we go, 1883, episode 7. Episode 8, approximately like 3 weeks from now. We'll try to get it in about a week. Thanks a lot, everybody. Hit the like and follow, and we'll see you next time on Yellowstone 1883. And we'll be back. Now, Germ, anything to pitch before we go?
Yeah, this Saturday, return of Saturday morning cartoons. Don't know what we'll be watching yet, but we'll have a good cartoon chosen out.
Oh, I have to ask you about that. Is there a particular decade that you usually focus on, or?
I like to focus on the 80s mainly, but usually pop around all over the place.
Because if you were open to 70s, I was going to suggest, if you not have any idea at the moment, maybe take a look at some of the classics from the 70s, like one of my favorites, Clue Club.
Clue Club.
I remember that.
If I can find it, I'll go with Clue Club.
Awesome. Yeah, that's. I know it's a Scooby-Doo clone, but
No,
they were all Scooby-Doo clones back then.
I want pure Clue Club. I don't want Clue Club with Jabberjaw.
Oh, okay. Well, Jabberjaw was good too, but you want them separate.
But no Jabber. That's like like there's Black Sabbath and then there's Dio.
Oh yeah, I got you.
I'm a purist.
No, but that
All
sounds
right,
awesome. That sounds like an awesome series. Sounds awesome.
What are you up to, Wes Cagle? Any other bookings or travails this week on the old interweb?
I'll be bouncing around wherever I'm needed. I like to just go where the wind takes me. Like when we get out of here. I know Canadian Spider-Man's doing a bonfire, and we're going to be talking about the possibilities of now that Trudeau is gone of making Canada the 51st state. So it's going to be a heated discussion.
Yeah, you know what? The Anschluss is coming, my friends. We will free our Canadian friends from the oppression of Trudeau. Although I will say this, you had a Cuban dictator. We make the best dictators. When Canada sends you their dictators, they're not going to send you their best. They're not going to send Fidel Castro. They're not going to send Mikhail Gorbachev. They're not going to send, goodness gracious me, even Justin Trudeau. They're going to send liars. They're going to send thieves. They're going to send communists. Well, they already did that once. But you had a Cuban dictator. You didn't want him. Okay, fine. But since you did set up a dictator system. Anyway, to our fellow Americans in the 51st state of Canada, we'll be seeing you soon, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, this has been 1883. Check the community tab in a couple of minutes if you're a community member and join the channel or have a membership, and I'll be here for a while. This is Admiral Teague. I'll see you later. Take it easy, partners. Till next time on 1883, and I'll be back on probably Wednesday before Doomcock to say hi for a little while, and then I'll do my regular show on Thursday, and we'll play it by ear. Take it easy, y'all. Bye.